to Vegas? There's no better time than now. Where can you find a 3-bedroom home with a balcony and patio? With upgraded flooring, all appliances included, newly painted, move-in ready. With a community park and pool for under $400,000. Not to mention that it is so convenient to shopping, schools, entertainment. And of course, what is Vegas without the Strip? So what are you waiting for? Call Benjamina today at 702-281-9063. Mia is also on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. You can also visit www.benjaminamiacasino.com and view available homes anytime. Remember, the house wins when you bet on Benjamina Mia Casino.
Just like a friend from back home.
This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.
PHLV Radio.
On the Dot is presented by Benjamina Mia Casino. Licensed real estate professional since 2008. License number S01669991 LLC. It's a lunch hour in Vegas, and we're on the Dot with Dot and Mia here on PHLV Radio.
Okay. All right, children, listen up. Over here, you will see my name. That's Dot. That's me. And over here, if you look at your, what is this? Your audiovisual. Yeah. What do you call that, Mia? You know, when you have presentations, your
Whiteboard.
your whiteboard, your blackboard, children.
Wala
is
na,
your
pase na ang blackboard.
your mom Mia is over here, and your mom Dot is over here talking. Welcome to On the Dot. If you can't see us, that's because you're on radio.
Yes.
Welcome, welcome. Radio is now visible. That's what Kuya Yo said.
Applause, applause.
Applause. This is our last episode for July
Yes, my gosh,
on
it's
the
July.
American influence.
Yes. July's all-American influence. May código. I have a big código behind you.
What is your código?
Right there, your television.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Mia. Read our handout.
Read our
Read
whiteboard.
the
That's
whiteboard,
a
yeah.
television set courtesy of PHLV. Our July podcast series, July's All-American Influence. This episode is called Isko Ata Ako, featuring our member highlight, Ella Wagan Nava.
Bravo!
Which is...
Okay.
ano yan? May nagsasalita sa background. Narinig mo ba yun?
Maybe it's my phone. I'm sharing
Yes.
this live on Facebook.
So, Miss Ella Wagan Nava is the Heart of Education awardee. First Filipina siya, Dot.
Aha.
Imagine, wow! Applause, applause,
Abuhay.
applause. Meron talaga nagsasalita. Sino yun?
Maybe it's your phone. I don't know.
Meron tayong dito.
Mia, define Isko.
Isko is short for Iskolar ng bayan.
In English.
Scholar of the bayan is, what's bayan?
The nation.
The nation.
Okay.
Scholar of the nation for
State scholar, yeah,
state
something
scholar
like
for UP, University of the Philippines, which is a new member also of UPAAN.
Si
Si
Ella.
Miss Ella.
Sige.
Ella.
Sige, Miss Ella. Bring your po on air. Come on. Good afternoon
She
po.
has been warned.
Good afternoon po, Miss Ella.
Ella Wagan Nava. Let me introduce her properly,
Oh, sige,
though.
sige.
Miss Ella Nava graduated with her master's in special education in 2011.
Okay.
That-
I was born. Yeah, I was already alive.
From
by that time.
UP Diliman, she started to teach in an early intervention special school, a child can incorporated for 2.5 years, then moved to, did you know there's British School Manila already?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Hindi ko
In
rin
Taguig.
alam. Wow,
Now I know.
wow, British
Alright.
school. Imagine that. For 8 years as a teaching assistant or a co-teacher. She, while doing her thesis, she was offered with her husband John Louis Nava or Joey to teach at Dulwich College as teaching assistant. Sa Manila ba to? Manila rin?
Sa Seoul po.
Sa Korea.
South Korea.
South Korea. As a teaching assistant, she had to fly back to the Philippines to defend her dissertation, and thankfully she passed her oral defense. They taught for 5 years in Seoul. Then in 2016, they decided to return to the Philippines. She taught in a tutorial center and Jewish preschool. Then they moved to CCSD and hired her to teach here in 2017. Welcome, Miss Ella Wagan Nava.
Wagas.
Thank you.
Good job, Miss Ella. So,
Thank you.
what's the next step for you? You've been all over the place. Like
Yes.
British and Seoul and what else? American, Philippine. Sige. Tell us about the best that you have experienced so far. Nako, ang dami. Isa
Madami
lang.
po. Opo. Like, being a teacher, and fortunately, we were able to teach around, not just in the Philippines, but also in Seoul and now here. Like, we learned different cultures, different traditions, different educational curriculum. Not just the curriculum, but what we have to do as a teacher, what we have to do as an educator. Because as an educator, you don't just do the curriculum. You have to do, like, when we were in Korea, we have to do safeguarding protection for students. Because
Is that like first aid?
no,
Safeguard?
not just first aid, safeguarding.
South
So
Korea.
we already have first aid in Korea, because when you teach children for early intervention, you really have to have the first aid and the CPR, but protection in a way, like for just to be aware who's mga sexual assaults, ganon.
I
Just to
see.
be aware who are the
Uh-huh.
people surrounding them na medyo magsasuspect ka, ganon. But, yeah, mga child protection, ganyan.
Parang environmental awareness.
Is it because
Yeah.
you're in special education?
No, that's international school, but actually in Korea, safeguarding protection, I think it's like a Dulwich wide program.
What
So
is
meaning
that?
just for that school. So Dulwich has other branches. They have one in London, in Singapore, in Beijing, in Seoul. Yeah, so all the educators teaching early, actually not just foundation, meaning pag sinabing foundation, it's the nursery up to second grade. But for safeguarding protection, it's from preschool, nursery until high school. Kasi hindi lang naman ako yung nandun during that time, hindi lang naman yung level ko. Yeah.
Okay. So, is that in any way similar to our training for active shooter? Not exactly.
Not exactly.
Not exactly,
Yeah,
because
'cause-
this one is focusing more on sexual.
Yes.
the sexual
From what,
aspect.
if I remember it right. But here we have trainings for active shooters.
Yeah.
Same with child protection. I think mas madami tayo dito compared doon sa
Yes.
school, kasi that school sila sa Korea naman, kasi they don't have guns. So
Yes,
it's not a
that's
problem
true.
for them.
That's
But
true.
here we have. So
Uh-huh. So, Miss Ella, The award that you received, the heart, what is that again?
Heart of
Heart of
Education.
Heart of
Education.
Education. That looks like the Smith Center.
Yes, that's
Yes.
where she got it.
It is, right?
She was awarded there.
So, did they take into consideration your experiences from all over the world when they gave you this, or is this just from your work here in CCSD?
Yeah. It's only based on what I do here in CPSC. So my assistant principal nominated me to be a nominee for the award, and then I have to do the essay and the video, and then from then on they chose the finalists, and then the finalists were 744, and then
Wow.
like the community partners and the previous, I think, educators were part of the judges too, and of course the one from Smith's Foundation. They're the one who chose the 20 winners.
20
and fortunately,
winners, yeah.
I was part of it.
Wow.
Hey.
Bonga, bonga. What does the award entail for you? Do you get to travel because of it? My father always said, "What good is a medal? Can you ride a plane with a medal?" So what does your award entail for you, Miss Ella?
Of course, we had all the winners received $5,000
Oh, nice.
Nice,
as
nice.
CAC.
Uh-huh.
We got a check, and then of course the medal, the recognition. The recognition is just not in the Smiths. Actually, we also had newspaper printed for it. Yeah, and then
A promotion?
gift certificates,
How about a
lots
promotion?
of gifts. Yeah.
No promotion for you? Salary increase?
No. It's
No?
supposed to be for retention, but obviously because of my visa, they couldn't retain me.
I see. I
Yes,
see.
yes.
Is this just
But
for...
thankfully, at least even as a J1 teacher, at least the other teachers would know that it's not only for the teachers locally, who's locally here, hired locally here, but also for everyone. So everyone has a chance to be recognized, to be a winner.
Is it just for Clark County School District?
Yes. I think they copied one of the awards giving bodies in one of the state, and the Smith Foundation was thinking, why not do it in Las Vegas, since Las Vegas is one of the CCSD, it's one of the challenging school counties we have in the state. Yeah.
It is.
So
Yeah.
Last I heard, we were at the bottom of the list as quality education. Where are we now?
I think we're like, I'm not sure if I'm correct, but we're still in like the bottomest
Number 15?
10. Yeah. If
Okay.
I'm not right, I think we're like fifth from the bottom, but it's not actually because of how the teachers teach, but also our school county, we have lots of immigrants. And then our schools, they are financially challenged.
I see.
Meaning, if it is financially challenged, it's not just the financial, maybe they have something to go through with their families too. Like recently, during summer, I volunteered as a camp counselor for domestic violence victim of the students. So meaning, hindi lang talaga educational issue, meron pang madami pang issue within the students. So before the blooms, syempre itatakal mo muna yung Maslow needs nila, 'di ba? Maslow before bloom. So ano ba yung sa pag Maslow needs, yung food, yung feel na dapat itatrust ko ba tong teacher na to, yung belongingness, physical needs, yung emotional needs, bago talaga sila matuto. Before you ask them like the hierarchy of Bloom's taxonomy. So ganun. Kahit sa special education, madami din issue like my students. Special needs na sila, pero I had students that they have to go through CPS. So they're not with their family. So madaming issues kung bakit one of the lowest tayo. Pero yeah, but it opened my mind, like sa atin kasi I'm not sure kung at least dito merong CPS, merong beyond school that will cater the needs of the students. Sa atin kasi I'm not aware.
Yeah, for the benefit of our friends who are listening and who don't know what CPS means, it's Child Protective
Child protection.
Services. Protection or protective services?
Services.
Protective service.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. So that's so true, no? You're not just teaching the ABCs of life.
Yeah.
You're teaching, you're putting into account every aspect of the child's development. Were you in special ed, correct,
Apo.
Miss Ella?
Yes, I am.
So I read yesterday or this morning that there's a there seems to be an overlap, or for me it's not clear where the special needs of a person, where's the line between the special needs of a person and the mental disability. Where's the thin, is there a thin line between them?
When you teach special education, dito sa Clark County, madami siya eh. So mine is autism. Merong SLD. SLD, that would be severe learning disabilities. So doon na pupunta yung intellectual disability. But from what I heard, there are also like, because multiple disabilities, like if you have bipolar disorder, so that's already part of mental disability.
Correct.
They still go to school because like for our students, everyone should be going to school. It's their right. It's not a privilege. So whether you have mental disabilities, physical disabilities, you should be in school, whether online or face to face.
So where did you get your degree on special ed? Is it UP or somewhere else?
I had my undergrad sa UE Manila for psychology, BS psychology. And then when I started teaching in Makati, doon ako nag-start mag-take ng masters. Kasi since I'm already teaching students with special needs for early intervention, I was thinking, why not do my masters? And then I got to UP
And
for my special education.
was that your what was your dissertation about?
Actually, it's managing autism.
Specific to autism.
Yes.
I see. So, Miss Ella, anong differences that you're seeing, or let's say just do a short comparison between American educational system and the Filipino educational system? Kasi most of our listeners are Pinoys. So, yeah, maybe you could point out the important differences and or similarities between these educational systems. Okay.
Since I didn't teach in public school in the Philippines, but I was brought up by public school system in the Philippines. So as a student in the Philippines, I think malaki yung respeto natin sa mga teachers, and we never have a second thought kung susundin ba natin sila or hindi.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything our teacher said, do this. Right away, gagawin natin yan. So, nandun talaga yung respeto natin as a student sa mga teachers, tsaka even our parents, di ba? When I was in school, even my mom, yeah, parang meron talaga siyang distinct na respect sa mga teachers, na sabi ng teacher mo ganyan. So, ganun kalaki yung respeto natin as a student sa mga teachers. But I'm not saying na wala silang respeto dito. But the thing is here, madaming rights ang mga students. And especially, sorry to say, but like if I speak to some Gen Ed students, you can hear from them that they're entitled to everything. Like, actually they are. Kasi priority talaga sila dito eh. They have so many benefits. So, yun.
Pero
Hindi,
sa Philippines. So are you saying that the level of respect that we have for teachers back home is higher than the level of respect they have here for their teachers? Or is it specific only to non white teachers?
ano naman, no? I think as an educator here, it really depends on you. How are you going to be respected by your students?
Do you feel
Like,
respected?
sorry?
Do you feel respected?
I do, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
good. That's
Yes,
good.
yes. At the beginning, of course, you have to test the waters. Like, because I was swapped from pre-K and then moved to primary autism. So when I was in kids program, yun yung pre-K program for autism, I really like it. I really like it was like my heaven because I was there for 9 weeks. So nakuha ko na yung loob ng mga parents, gusto ko na yung mga students. Then all of a sudden, because of my visa, as a J1 teacher, we're not supposed to teach pre-K. I don't know why, but thankfully I stayed in the same school with the same admin. So konti lang yung adjustment. I just need to swap the classroom. But then with the parents, I have to test the waters again kasi iba na yung parents. So from 9 weeks, I have to develop another relationship with this set of parents. Tapos from what I heard, marami silang beware of that, beware of this. And I'm like, wait lang, kakausapin ko muna sila. But so the funny thing was, siyempre, Filipino, Asian tayo. Sabi nung isang parent, so, you're Asian, which means you're going to make my child learn. And I'm like, don't we do it as an educator?
What did you
Parang,
say again? That means
sa-
what?
That means my child will learn from you, sabi niya. Oh, so you're Asian.
Okay.
Which means my child will learn from you. And I'm like, hindi ba dapat kasi lahat naman ng teacher nagtuturo? So, matututo talaga yung anak mo. Pero bilang Asyano, bilang Filipino, malaki yung ini-expect nila from us. Parang pag Asian ka, yung typical stigma is magaling ka sa math.
I didn't know that.
Mga ganon.
Is that your experience too, Mia?
No.
Pag Asian ka, magaling ka sa math.
No, because when we moved from LA, because my kids went to magnet school in LA, so when we moved here, I attended the orientation, and when I spoke to the teacher, I said, "Oh, maybe I can volunteer." And when the teacher said, "What for?" I was shocked.
Okay.
Shocked. So I said, "Oh, maybe it's different here in Nevada."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going back to what you said, Ella, about the perception towards you, or is that the same for all J1 teachers? Can you explain J1 again? J1 teachers, please.
J1 is an exchange visitors program, but I'm not really sure about what does it mean to be like, if there's a meaning for J1. So maybe like for working visa, it's H1B, but for us, exchange visitors program, it's J1.
Okay. So you said that that particular parent said that because you're Asian, they have the perception that you're good in math or you're good in sciences. Is that the same perception for all teachers, special ed teachers?
I think so. Kasi malaki yung ine-expect nila for Filipino teachers coming here. And not to brag, being
Let's brag. Come on, let's brag.
Because before, from what I heard, especially from our school union, they said that when we Filipinos came in, bumaba yung lawsuit.
Lawsuit against whom?
Special ed teachers.
Because?
Kasi pag as a special ed teacher, marami kaming hinahandle na documents, IEP,
Okay.
BIP, gradebook,
Mhm.
etc. Madami. Because like usually for Gen Ed, they might have 2 or 3 documents to do. But for special ed, marami kaming hinahandle. So if you miss one of it, pwede kang malosot. So like especially for the IEP, if you don't follow one of it, malolosot ka na agad. Even the way you speak, because there are parents that they might not like you of how you talk or what they heard from their children. Ano na siya, kakasuhan na siya agad yung mga teachers before. Tapos minsan, sexual harassment, sad to say, from the teachers. But since we Filipinos came here for CCSD, umaba yung lawsuit niya. So yun, that's why parang unending na yung dating ng J1 teachers dito sa CCSD.
Oh my goodness, I don't even know how to react to that. What's your take, Mia?
No, when I visited Ella the first time in her school, you could see that she's really respected. Because when I visit my kids' school and I look for the teachers, it's just very normal to be calling the teacher. But when I asked for Ella, you could see even the school administrators, they were really, really respecting her. So
That's so good.
you could see the difference.
That's so good. Parang nagre-raise ng red flag ang lawsuits that Ella is talking about. Because I feel afraid about that,
Opo, nakakatakot talaga in a way. But thankfully, if you're a teacher and you're part of the school union, safe ka naman, especially if your admin will back you up, if your union will back you up, that you're an effective teacher and you never done anything, or yun, nawawala, of course, na-atras yung lawsuit.
Oh, that's good to know. So are you getting a lot of help? Are you being supported
course.
here? Yes.
Yeah.
That's good
I'm
to
really
know.
thankful for my admin because I only stayed in one school, Paradise Elementary, professional development. They're really supportive there.
Okay. That's very good to know, Ella. And shout out to the staff and faculty of your school. What's the name again? Paradise
Professional Development School. Tas tatlo kaming J1 teachers.
Paradise Professional Development School. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
somebody
It's
said
near
hi to you
UNLV.
here. Yeah, somebody said she's proud of you, Mom Ella. That's I guess that's Liza Martinez.
Yeah. I know
Yes.
Miss Lisa.
She's proud of you. We're gonna take a
Thank
short
you.
break, Miss Ella, so we can take our breath. Take a deep breath
Sure.
and listen to our sponsor, and we'll be back. Don't go away.
Alrighty.
Moving to Vegas? There's no better time than now. Where can you find a 3-bedroom home with a balcony and patio? With upgraded flooring, all appliances included, newly painted, move-in ready. With a community park and pool for under $400,000. Not to mention that it is so convenient to shopping, schools, entertainment. And of course, what is Vegas without the Strip? So what are you waiting for? Call Benjamina today at 702-281-9063. Mia is also on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. You can also visit www.benjaminamiacasino.com and view available homes anytime. Remember, the house wins when you bet on Benjamina Mia Casino.
Just like a friend from back home.
This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.
PHLV Radio.
Okay, we're back. We're back here. Tapos na ba kayo mag-recess, mga bata? Children, are you done with your recess? We're back at the classroom. And if you look at my blackboard here, whiteboard, screen board, white screen, PowerPoint
Images yan.
presentation, you can find us from all of these platforms. What are they? Google, Mia, basahin mo nga. Google, Apple,
Fire Stick, YouTube,
Spotify,
Amazon, ano pa?
iHeartRadio,
BenjaminaCasino.com and then BenjaminaMiaCasino.com, Spotify, nearsighted ako
etc., YouTube.
iHeartRadio,
Yes.
ano pa ba? Google Play,
Andyan na lahat. Hanapin nyo na lang sa
PHLV Radio, Facebook Live,
all over the world.
ano pa?
We're broadcasting all over the world.
Fire TV.
Yeah.
Der.
Nako. Level up
Yan.
tayo. So we have a Heart Awardee. Heart of Education Awardee. Kasi na-prompt ako
Kailangan
ng
pa gumanan
iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio. I forgot my heart. I should have my heart.
Sana?
Dito
Baka
yung
nandyan lang.
emoji ko dito. But before we go back to Miss Ella, Madam, please tell us about the contest.
Himig. Yes, almost done. You have until August 1st to submit your original composition, the songwriting composition for our Himig. So, malapit na ang katapusan.
This is a project of
The University of the Philippines Alumni Association of Nevada.
Nevada.
Yes.
And the logo is being worn by our guest.
Yes.
Because she's also from Newpaan.
Ella, pakita mo naman ang logo natin.
Ayan na yung logo
Sa iyong
sa
shirt.
shirt mo. Yan.
There.
Ayan. Living it up
There.
in Las
Living it up.
Vegas.
There.
Galing. I love the design. So how are you living it up as a scholar? Iskolar ng bayan. Kasi tayong mga UP grads, we are a scholar of
Isko.
tayo ng Pilipinas. In other words, our tuition was subsidized by the government. So it's really fitting that we're also giving back to the community in any way that we can. So back to you, Miss Ella. How are you living it up in Las Vegas as a UP graduate?
Parang parang pag-graduate ka ng UP, there's something behind it na you have to really live it up. Are you really from UP in a way? Kasi, syempre, they will expect more from us. Since you're from UP, it's not, you should know more, but in a way you should, or you have to do more because you're from UP. Pero I'm really grateful that I graduated from UP. Why? Kasi sa TOR ko palang bawing-bawi na ako.
Transcript of records.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because as a J1, of course, yung transcript of records natin, they're from the Philippines. They have to evaluate it. So from there, we need to do an ARL or alternate route for licensing. And instead of me getting like more units, I think if I'm not correct, I think as an ARL student or candidate, we have to take 21 units. But since yung sa transcript of records ko, lahat halos nakuha ko na, 9 units na lang yung 9 units na lang yung kinuha ko, meaning 3 subjects na lang. So, medyo malaking tipid.
I mean,
May head start.
may head start siya.
Yes.
Tapos, isa pa, I mean, that's grueling back home. When you're, di ba? We had very little opportunities for, I'm speaking for myself, being a very old person. I'm already 95 years old. So we had no internet back
Yeah.
then. We had to go to the library back then
Yes.
and literally read books, pull out books, and go through the card catalog.
Yeah,
ano mo pa
sa
ba yun?
library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to know what these numbers mean.
You
These
have to look
letters.
for
All
the book.
numbers.
Yeah.
Correct. So here, and not just here, I think even the newer generations back home and everywhere else in the world, I feel that it's easier for them to get sources for their outputs. At the same time, it's also very easy for them to plagiarize, to
Yeah.
steal ideas.
Ah.
Are you experiencing those, Ella?
Actually, like ngayon, I can relate with that. Like, they can just look for the thesaurus.com and then change
I know.
the word.
Right.
It's so
Yeah.
easy,
Tapos,
right?
yun na yun. Pero, kasi I'm a baby boomer, so I experienced both. From call cards to Google, tapos meron yung nakaset up sa'yo na app na yung APP, every time you do the reference, may nakaset up na ngayon eh.
Yes.
Pero dati
Oo.
you have to go back and write it down, ano na nga yung page, ano na nga yung book, sino na nga yung
Yes.
author.
Oo.
Footnotes.
Pero ngayon,
Oo,
set
no?
lahat.
You're
Saka
busy.
hindi mo rin sure kung did they know it by heart.
Yeah.
And another training that I really like I got from UP is you don't just believe one book.
Yeah.
Parang kailangan you have to read at least 3 to 5 books just to verify kung tama ba yung content ng sinabi ng isang libro na yon, yung isang author na yon, and I really appreciate that.
Mhm.
So ngayon, parang pag may nagpe-present, let me look at the references. Kasi, especially nung masters, makikita mo, hindi lang 3 references yun. And I was told na pag 10 years lapse na yung book, hindi na siya considered na reference. Kailangan within 5 years. Tas okay pa siya. Ganun.
Yes, that's true. Kasi knowledge from 10 years ago
Aha.
is
Passé.
might not be
Yeah.
valid anymore. I remember when you were still in your diapers, children, or when you were still I remember that one of the lessons we had in science was the atom could not be split. That's how
Wow.
old I am. And now the atom can be split.
Yes.
Right, yes. So, back to special ed, Miss Ella. What age group are you teaching?
Primary, so from kinder to second.
And what
So
age
it's a
would,
mixed group.
what age would that be?
6 years old to 8.
6 to 8.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there an increase in cases of autism here in the US?
That's the thing. Like, you would wonder why. Like, 'cause
There
we
is?
have, before the child goes to special ed, they have a program. I forgot the name, but it's like an assessment place.
Mm-hmm.
Child find. So when the child turns 3, and then their parents already notice that there's something different from their children, then they go to child find, and then child find will assess them, and then child find will put them in schools. Also, ang na-observe ko, like sa kids program, the kids program, meaning the pre-K program for autism, mag-start yung class 2 students per year.
Mm-hmm.
Pero they will end up full house, full classes, like 8 students. So like every year meron talaga. Ganon yung increase niya.
Okay. I've never been to a special ed classroom here. And when I left the Philippines, it was just a baby. It was just a concept that people were getting into. It wasn't that big. at the time. It was very, very expensive to get your child to
Yeah.
special ed, and very expensive for teachers to train as special ed teachers.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes.
no? Right?
I performed for Filipiniana in
Uh-huh.
a special education classroom. It was different from a regular classroom.
In
It
what
was
way?
smaller.
The size of the room is
The
smaller.
size of the class was smaller.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
What's the teacher ratio? 1:2? One teacher is to two children?
Here
Or
in
one
our
is to one.
county, we have 1:8, and then we have one SPTA, meaning Special Program Teaching Assistant. So that should be the ratio. But for kids, ideally, if you have full class, you should have two SPTAs. But because of course, budget, and also if you can handle your class, you really don't need another one.
Mm. Why do you think CCSD got teachers from the Philippines?
Because they need lots of teachers.
Why the
And
Philippines?
I
Bakit
think,
sa Pilipinas sila naghahanap ng
I think-
teachers?
From what I heard,
Ayan,
hindi naman
mag-Marites
siya
tayo.
cheating.
Marites means Mari, anong latest? Chismis tayo. Sige, from what you heard.
before they tried different countries,
Aha.
but us being linguists, like we can pronounce all the words, all the letters. So
okay.
naiintindihan tayo ng mga Amerikano, ng kung sino man.
Oo.
But they tried to hire a different country or race before. Nahihirapan silang intindihin yung teachers. So they're like, okay, let's look for someone. Let's look for another country that we can understand them, and then vice versa.
Ayun,
So I think
ayun.
yun yung issue.
Mhm. So,
So,
let
si-
me... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Since 2017, naging successful yung pag-hire ng J1 until now.
Yes.
I
How
think,
many
like,
per
right
batch? How many people come here? How many teachers come here?
Madam,
Per batch? Is there a cap to that?
the cap should be 175.
Okay.
But now, I think they moved it higher. Actually, again, from what I heard, nagka-problema sila because they're trying to hire 200, ang cap lang 175. So, syempre hindi pumayag yung USCIS dahil I'm not sure if it is
Tama.
per school district
25.
or per state, dapat 175 lang. Gusto nila 200. Kasi,
175 per year?
yes,
per
yes,
batch.
yes.
Per batch per
Pero
year.
kasi like CCSD needs 1,300 teachers at the moment.
Mhm.
So they really need a lot.
That speaks to me as though madaming
So,
special ed
175.
madaming special ed cases in that case, di ba?
At
Tama.
saka not everyone wants to teach special children.
Tama. It's very demanding
Opo.
energy
Like,
wise.
kasi madami siyang paperwork, physically you'll get tired, mentally you'll get tired. But the thing is, for me, it's really fulfilling. Like,
Oh.
even yung, because I usually start my students with verbal imitation, physical imitation. Sila kasi, like, it depends on the case of the student. I have student who would just stare at me.
Okay.
But if the child smile at me, sobrang na yun, sobrang
That's a
accomplished
milestone.
na yun.
Yes, di ba? It's a win.
Opo.
Grabe. So, let me just pose a controversial issue here, and I would invite our listeners and our viewers to type in your answers. There's a proposal from someone from the higher up in the Philippines to eradicate the use of English as a medium of instruction.
I
Na
heard.
ano daw, na it what's the exact word? Na-deteriorate daw ang quality of education ng Pilipino if we are using English as a medium of instruction. Yeah, that's the So the proposal is to not use English as a medium of instruction. So what are your ideas? So if you have feelings and thoughts about this, go ahead, type in your comments wherever you are from. Okay? Facebook man kayo or sa app. We'd love to have your ideas. What do you think, Mia?
Oh, I tried it already.
Na alin? O, dagdagan ng isa ay magiging dalawa.
I tried it already when I was in college. It was done in UP or in
Alin?
yung ginawang Tagalog, yung
Ang everything?
lahat. Oo.
O, sige.
Mahina na nga ako sa math, ginawa pang Tagalog. Ay, grabe na talaga.
Okay, o, diba? What do you think,
Oo.
Miss Ella? Ikaw naman, have you experienced that? Filipino as purely the medium of instruction? Or whatever your
Mahirap po, kasi
dialect?
we
It's
didn't
hard.
We didn't start like that
Oo.
If we started with all Filipino, baka we can adapt. Ngayon nga, mahirap, ano sa Tagalog ng adapt?
Oo.
Mahirap, di ba? Hindi mainabot yung dot, yung physics, ginawang Tagalog.
No.
You didn't? Oh,
No, I
in
told you. I
college.
told
Oh my
you. I'm
gosh.
95 years old, so.
Ay, grabe.
Wala
Inabot
kami
ko yun.
Sa
Physics,
opinion ko lang
math.
po, I think
What's your opinion?
advantage natin yun na everything's in English, tapos we speak in Tagalog. For me,
Mhm.
like, unlike yung mga students in Korea, like yung mga nasa public school sa Korea, lahat sila talaga na in Korean language. So they have to translate it to English. Tapos pagkausap mo sila, mahirap din. Although I can see the comparison, like Japanese, Koreans, all of their books are they're in their own language. But as Filipinos, we started like that.
Mhm.
If we started on our own language, I think malaki yung advantage. Pero like right now, parang tuturuan tayo pabalik. Hindi naman pabalik on that way. Baka siguro for mga early childhood,
Early
madali.
childhood is okay, di ba?
Oo, madali.
Yeah.
Pero for teachers, mahirap yun
Uh-huh.
because that's not the way they learn.
Yes.
So they will adapt again.
And this is in keeping with our theme, Mia, American influence.
Mhm.
Our educational system in the Philippines is based on the American educational system when the
Yes,
Americans came over to what? To dominate us.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they went back to English now, but in UP it was like that in the 90s.
Oh, it's good to
Yeah.
know your dialect. I
Yeah.
know in Waldorf education, the children below 7 years old or 8 years old, at least back home, the medium of instruction is principally in the native language of the child because that's important. Pongko, tindog, so for us it's Ilonggo. Magkari kamo, kadto na kamo diri, magpamati kita. So because these are children from the farm, from the fisher folk. So it's important that they learn their language. Then the introduction of English is it begins around 9 years old or 8 years old. So what about your kids? Did they learn English first, Mia?
In school, yes.
Sa bahay. What
Sa
about at
bahay,
home?
Tagalog. Yeah.
Tagalog talaga. Even
Yeah.
when they because you're already here. What's your experience, Ella, Madam Nava, about do you have kids of
language?
your own? Do you have
I
kids?
learned, of course, sa bahay Tagalog talaga.
Okay, Tagalog.
Sa school lang yung English. And I think yung formal lessons for English when I was studying was on first grade. Kasi the rest, in passing lang eh. Yung kinder and nursery, in passing lang yun, hindi talaga din naging English yung teacher ko. So, first formal was when I was in first grade.
Okay. Sige. So moving forward, what are your hopes for yourself, Miss Awardee? Ngayong may
Madami.
award. Asan yung award mo? Nandyan ba? Malapit sa'yo? Is it near you? O nasa ano na?
Nasa kwarto.
Do you sleep with it?
No, pero
Wala.
ano yan, something to cherish.
I know, it's very
Yeah, yeah.
inspiring. So what are your hopes for yourself?
Actually, when I became an awardee, parang marami na siya agad opportunity.
Oh,
Like,
such as?
even, like, of course, wala na ako sa CCSD. But, looking, like, if you just put your awards or yung label lang na nakatanggap ka ng ganyang award, na-hire ka agad eh. So, ano siya, malaki siya for hiring factor.
Oh. So people are lining up to hire you?
Actually, yeah.
Ang
We're just
galing.
Very good.
Don't be shy. Let's brag nga. Ano ba? Bragging rights.
Ano, I'm just waiting for something. Tapos,
Okay.
Yun.
That's
Hired na.
wonderful. That's wonderful. Mia, anong award mo? May award ka ba? Sige na, baka may mag-line up.
I'm shy.
You're shy.
I have a question. When you taught in Korea, are they able to speak English?
oh, it's an international
Ah.
school, so we're required to speak English. Thankfully, we're not required to speak in Korean. Although I know a little bit of Korean, but not an expert.
Kasi I know most of the Koreans go to the Philippines to learn English, diba?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But the Koreans who went to the Philippines, they learned the dialect actually, not just the English.
Oh, Tagalog
nakakatuwa.
also. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. Kasi when I left, they said there's a Korean invasion
Right.
sa Pilipinas, diba? They were all, oh, you know what? I was involved in a Korean, what's that? Learn English. What's the name? Edufore International School. Oh,
In the Philippines?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I left in the 90s, 96, they were starting to come over to learn English. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And our professors in that international school for Koreans back there are from UP. They're UP professors. So it
And I
became
know a lot of from UP then who goes to Korea for their scholarship.
Okay.
So nag-aral siya ng MA for Korean and now he's professor in UP. Pero ang major niya is Filipino.
Oh, wow.
I think his name is Professor Ron Laranjo. He's also he's one of the interviewees for the one that you mentioned earlier. Yeah.
For our friends, our Filipino teachers who intend to come here as J1 teachers, Ella, anong mga tips mo?
One of the qualifications, they have to be in special ed, and then they have to have at least 2 years experience to be hired here or to qualify here. But of course, advice, personal, ano yun eh. For me, I was just being myself during the interview, kung anong experience ko, how am I as a teacher. So basically, weigh yourself as a teacher. Ano yung mabibigay mo as a teacher dito sa community? And just an advice maybe, when we teach, it's not just our classroom. There's also the parents who are the stakeholders, of course, your admin. So malaki yung responsibility natin, hindi lang sa classroom. It's also with the community, and syempre kung anong mabibigay natin as a teacher. And also like as a teacher, hindi lang din yung student mo yung i-mentor mo. You will also mentor other teachers, your co-workers. Like for me, I had the privilege to mentor three students. So the first one was she's in college, in College of Southern Nevada. She's taking special ed as well. And then last year, I was able to mentor two MA students in UNLV
Nice.
to have their certification.
We're so proud of
As a
you.
teacher, hindi lang classroom, madami tayong malaki yung responsibility natin.
Ang galing, no? We're proud of you, Miss
Thank
Ella
you.
Wagan Nava. So, sige, golden moments mo before we go. Golden moments by that, you mentioned earlier that when a student, an autistic student, starts smiling, iba na yung life mo. Para ang galing na ng feeling mo.
Yes,
Do you have other golden moments that you would like to share para,
Actually,
very encouraging?
Madami talaga siya. Like, even when my students, ang una mong titignan kasi, when you start your year is their IEP and then their BIP, meaning Behavioral Intervention Plan. So, meaning may behavioral issues talaga sila. So, if they achieve their IEP goals pa lang, big deal na yun. Like, especially if you achieve their IEP goals within the year.
Ano yun? IEP?
Apo, intervention, individualized educational plan.
Individual
that's-
educational plan.
Yeah, so yun
Okay.
talaga yung number one priority ng mga teachers for their student to do that. So pag na-achieve mo yung goals noon, especially pag IEP meeting, kasi sinabi ng parent, as of the moment, I don't have any concerns.
Oh,
Ibig sabihin, they really rely on you.
that's the
Like,
best.
yeah. So malaki talaga yun pag sinabi ng parent na, I'm really thankful that Miss Nava is the teacher of my child. Sobrang fulfilling na yun.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Nice,
Madami.
nice.
Especially if they achieve their academic goals. Like usually, pag special ed, below academic sila academic level. Pero one of my students, he's above the his academic level, like 99. Nagulat talaga ako, parang, paano nangyari to? Teka lang, anong ginawa? So yung parent talaga, before I actually left there, like, Miss Nava, do we need to rally in front of CC?
Sige.
No.
When is the rally? Tell us. We're gonna stand
We'll
there.
join you.
We already did everything we can just to extend, pero sadly wala talaga. It's the law of J1. Yun yung comprise ng J1.
Oh.
You really have to go back unless may makita kang way to stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
System.
Malapit na tayong mag-end. Miss Ella, pick a number and I'm gonna give you a miracle card. Miracles Now
miracle.
card. Ito kasi yung deck that we used last week.
Okay.
Si
Serene.
Gabriel, what's her name? Gabriel Bernstein. She made this card, and she's guested with Dr. Oz, Oprah, kung ano-anong shows. Oo. So, we have
cards
from her. And pick a number, Miss Ella. And I'm gonna...
22
22. From the top or from the bottom?
from the top.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Magsalita ka muna, Mia. 11, 12,
Kakanta na lang ako.
13, 14. Give ka ng final words mo, Ella.
Ayan, your final words, Ella.
As a teacher, just be yourself. Like, enjoy what you're doing with the students. And when you do planning, one of my mentors said before, when you plan a lesson for your students and you feel excited doing the plan, it means your lesson will be good. So always put your shoes on your students' shoes, like, how will I learn this? So ganun. Always think about your student. Kasi kaya nga tayo nasa classroom It means our students needs us. So our student needs us. So yun, always think beyond what the lesson is, your lesson plan, and always be prepared to, like, from A to Z. Especially
Perfect.
pag yung student mo nag-misbehave, wait, anong gagawin ko? Paano matututo to? Ganun. Parang kailangan inasnap.
Oo.
Meron ka agad idea.
You yourself are the first student.
Yeah.
Yes, when you make your curriculum. Oh, ito yung card mo, Madam. When I shine bright, I give others permission to shine with me. When I
Yes, of
shine
course.
bright, I give others permission to shine with me. Thank you for shining with us.
Yes, I always, because one of my teaching philosophy is we're not alone. When we teach, it takes a village, especially in the classroom. So, like me, I have me, my SPTA, the parents, the admin, the office staff. So, hindi lang talaga ako. So, during when I won, actually, hindi lang naman sa akin yun kasi I also had my school psychologist who helped me, my speech pathologist to help me, my occupational therapist. So madami. So as a teacher, you're not alone. It takes a village, and everything that made you shine. Remember, it's not what I did. It's the team's effort.
team.
But it's just that ikaw yung na-recognize kasi ikaw yung classroom teacher.
Ay, galing. I love it.
Yeah.
I love our conversation. Thank you
Thank
for
you, Ella.
shining. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
our friends of On the Dot. We'll see you again next week. But Mia will give you the closing.
Thank you, Ella.
Thank you for
Congratulations
having me.
again.
Oo, parang acceptance speech. Oh, sige. Oh, ano yung acceptance speech mo dyan, Mia?
It's from Albert Einstein.
I love it.
Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school.
Ay, nako. O, ayan.
See you,
On the Dot
everyone.
Is presented
Next
by The Dot.
week.
Is presented by On the Dot.
Thank you.
Is presented by Benjamina Mia Casino.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Ella. That was great.
Thank you. Thank you po for having me.
Ang dami kong
I see you around.
Moving to Vegas, there's no better time than now. Where can you find a 3-bedroom home with a balcony and patio? With upgraded flooring, all appliances included, newly painted, move-in ready. With a community park and pool for under $400,000. Not to mention that it is so convenient to shopping, schools, entertainment. And of course, what is Vegas without the Strip? So what are you waiting for? Call Benjamina today at 702-281-9063. Mia is also on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. You can also visit www.benjaminamiacasino.com and view available homes anytime. Remember, the house wins when you bet on Benjamina Mia Casino.